There are moments in life when the veil thins, and something ancient, long buried within the soul, begins to stir. You are now at the edge of such a moment. What awaits is not a teaching to be studied, but a remembrance to be embodied. A secret, veiled in the echoes of lost civilizations and entrusted to Thoth, guardian of sacred codes and architect of divine knowledge. This gift is not complicated. It asks for no credentials, no preparation. Only that you listen. Only that you feel. A single act, once performed with full presence and intention, can shift your vibration forever. Not through effort, but through alignment with a sound, a frequency so fundamental that it rewrites your energetic pattern instantaneously. It is not magic. It is sacred design. But to offer this key, I must first show you its truth. Because real knowledge is never taught. It is remembered through resonance. If your soul recognizes the truth in these words, mark it. A like is more than feedback. It is a subtle but powerful signal to the field that you are awake and present. And if your heart knows there is more, if you wish to be part of this vibrational unfolding, subscribe. It is not a click, it is a declaration. You are not just witnessing something, you are entering into it. And once you do, nothing will ever feel quite the same again. So let's get started right away. Close your eyes for 2 seconds. Feel your chest and notice the silence within you. It is in that silence that sound is born. And when it vibrates, the entire universe responds. But very few people know how to tune it correctly. And if you get it wrong, it doesn't work. That's why you must stay with me until the end, because I will show you step by step how to activate this vibration. And once you do it, not even the chaos around you can stop you. Separate the stone from the spirit with great diligence and wisdom. For everything vibrates in visible and invisible layers, and he who knows the vibration can move worlds without leaving his place. Now that you've begun to understand that your vibration creates your reality, it's time to reveal what most people avoid talking about. For centuries, your frequency wasn't shaped by chance. It was programmed. Programmed to vibrate in low, dense states. Fear, guilt, anger, insecurity, sadness. All of this has been fed to you since you began to understand the world. You weren't born this way. You were taught to vibrate this way, because those who vibrate low live low. They live limited. They live controlled. They observe society. What does it teach you from an early age? To fear failure. If you feel guilt, it means you have a conscience. Anger is wrong, but inevitable. You see, everything revolves around emotions that compress your energy field. Hermes said it already. As within, so without. And this isn't empty philosophy. It's a universal principle that shapes the reality around you without you even realizing it. If fear exists within you, the world outside will seem threatening. If the guilt is inside, everything outside will feel like constant judgment. If there's anger inside, everything outside will feel like a struggle. And that's what perpetuates this cycle day after day, the invisible cycle that no one taught you how to break. You feel fear, you think something negative, and you reinforce that fear. You feel guilt, you judge yourself. You feel anger, you fuel aggressive thoughts, and you attract situations that trigger that same anger. And so, your vibrational field spins like a rusty gear, repeating patterns that seem impossible to break. But they aren't. Modern science has already begun to demonstrate this. The HeartMath Institute, for example, has demonstrated that your heart's energy field not only exists, but can expand several meters beyond your body when you enter emotional coherence. This means that what you feel literally creates a ripple around you. It's not just internal, it's external. Your vibration doesn't stay trapped in your chest. It expands, influencing people, environments, and situations. Now imagine what happens when you spend days, weeks, and months vibrating with fear and insecurity. That field around you will attract people who reinforce that fear. Situations that fuel that insecurity and opportunities that, instead of elevating you, keep you exactly where you are. Because energy is cyclical. It returns to the same frequency you emitted. This is why so many people live their entire lives without realizing they're trapped in the vibrational field they themselves created. They change cities, jobs, relationships, But the internal feeling remains the same because they haven't changed the frequency. They've just changed the scenario. Now, take a breath and pay attention, because what I'm about to tell you is simple, yet it can change everything. It's not events that shape your frequency. It's the emotions you harbor while experiencing them. Two people can face the same situation. One vibrates fear and freezes. The other vibrates trust and grows. The situation is the same, but their vibrational fields create completely different realities. And perhaps now you're thinking, well, then I just need to change my emotions and thoughts. But it's not that simple, because there's something deeper controlling that process. There's a force at work behind emotions and thoughts, silently shaping the way you vibrate and react to life. And almost no one talks about it. The secret that science and the ancient masters have hidden in the same place: sound and speech. This force, which few notice, acts every day relentlessly, without rest. It's present when you think, but also when you speak. And here begins the part that almost no one has ever told you. Your vibration is not generated only by your feelings. It is shaped, amplified, and directed primarily by the words that come out of your mouth. And as simple as it may seem, the impact on your vibrational field is profound. Every time you speak, you emit a frequency into space. This is not a metaphor. The science of cymatics has already demonstrated that sound creates visible shapes in matter. In simple experiments with sand and sound vibrations, perfect geometric patterns appear. Sound organizes chaos. Now think with me. If sound can organize inert particles, imagine what it can do to your energy field, which is alive, pulsating, and conscious. Every word you speak emits a vibrational pattern, and that pattern doesn't disappear when you stop speaking. It resonates in your field, creating resonance, and beginning to attract realities that match that frequency. But here's the point that separates those who understand vibration from those who just repeat empty words. It's not the word itself that creates the vibrational impact. It's the emotion behind it. You can say peace 1,000 times, but if you vibrate with anxiety deep inside, your field doesn't emit peace. It emits conflict. You can say, I am grateful, but if you feel empty, your field doesn't emit gratitude. It emits lack. That's why so many people repeat positive affirmations and they feel that nothing changes. Because it's not about memorizing beautiful phrases. It's about feeling the true vibration behind what you say. The ancient masters knew this. That's why in their traditions, the use of words was sacred. They didn't speak just for the sake of speaking. Every sound had a clear intention. Every word carried a purpose. There was no empty talk, because they knew that words are a tool of creation, not just communication. And when we talk about vibration, we're not just referring to the sound frequency the ear can hear. We're talking about the invisible field that words activate when spoken with true intention. And this is where mystical traditions have guarded one of the most powerful secrets, protected for generations. There is a type of sound that isn't simply spoken. It's intoned. And intonation has a vibrational power infinitely greater than ordinary speech. Because when you intone, you don't just emit sound. You engage your body, your emotion, your intention, and your energy in a continuous flow. And this flow creates a vibration capable of penetrating the dense layers of your energy field, reorganizing frequencies that have been blocked for years. But this type of intonation is not just any melody. They are not empty words thrown to the wind. They are primordial sounds that carry ancestral and cosmic frequencies. Sounds that have survived for millennia, protected in secret traditions. Because if used incorrectly, they could cause dangerous imbalances. And why did they intone and not just speak? Because the vibration of the intonation, supported by breath and emotion, creates a continuous energy wave capable of penetrating deep into the vibrational field. Spoken words have impact. Conscious intonation has depth. But wait, not every intonation produces this effect. There is a specific type of sound, passed down only among initiates. A sound whose vibration is so powerful that just by intoning it once, a person's vibrational field begins to reorganize. And this is where your journey reaches a new level. Because what you are about to discover is not spiritual theory. It is real vibrational practice. And once you know what the sound is and how to consciously intone it, you will understand why it has been treasured for centuries. Because it wasn't repetition that produced the effect. It was precision. It was the purity of intention and vibration. The ancient mystics, silent alchemists, and desert priests knew this. They intoned certain sounds only once, because a single conscious vibration was enough to reorganize the speaker's entire energy field. Imagine it. Instead of repeating hundreds of times hoping something would change, they prepared themselves in silence, purified their thoughts, aligned their intention, and, at the right moment, emitted the sound. And when that sound resonated, it wasn't just the air that vibrated. It was the body, the mind, the energy field, the space around it. Everything synchronized with that frequency. Not because the sound was magical in itself, but because whoever intoned it was already aligned with what it represented. Sounds like Om, which had survived millennia in Vedic traditions, or Ra, present in the solar cultures of Egypt. These sounds weren't just cultural symbols. They activated deep energy centers in the body and in the human being's vibrational field. They weren't recited mechanically. They were experienced in every cell, felt in the chest, vibrated in the field. And when this happened correctly, something happened that seemed simple on the outside, but inside changed everything. The vibration reorganized the energy centers, dissolved invisible blockages, and raised the vibrational field to a frequency no longer driven by fear or guilt. It was as if the person stopped vibrating in low cycles and began vibrating in their original state. Free, whole, aware. Now think about it. Why did these traditions forbid the unnecessary repetition of this sound? Because the frequency had already been emitted. The field was already reorganized. And all the person had to do afterward was sustain that vibration with their awareness. Repeating just for the sake of repetition would be like trying to turn on a light that was already on. It makes no sense. Worse, it could create noise and disalign what was already in harmony. But here's what almost no one knows. Among all the sounds that have spanned civilizations and cultures, there is one specific one. A sound that is not an ordinary word or intonation. It is a primordial frequency that Thoth revealed as the starting point for reorganizing human vibration. A sound so powerful that simply intoning it once with the right intention and awakened awareness is enough to create a tangible shift in the body, mind, and vibrational field. Intonate this once, and your vibration will never be the same again. Before every word, before every sound, there is an invisible door to pass through. And that door is nowhere outside of you. It is in silence. Not the silence of the environment, but the silence of your internal vibration. For it is in that empty space, where thought dissolves and breathing finds a moment of stillness, that the purest frequency in the universe is born. This place has been known for millennia by many names, but they all indicate the same vibrational state, the 0 point. The 0 point is not a physical place. It's a state of being where your energy isn't stuck in the past or anxious about the future. It's there, in the absolute present, where the mind stops and only presence remains. When you enter this state, your vibrational field stops emitting distorted noise. It purifies itself. It reorganizes and creates space so that every frequency emitted from that moment on brings purity and wholeness. No interference, no blockages, no unconscious filters that usually distort everything you emit. And why is it so important? Because if you try to intone this sacred frequency while carrying fear, haste, or anticipation, it won't vibrate as it should. It will emerge contaminated by your inner confusion. But when you intone from silence, when the vibration comes from that space that is simultaneously empty and full, the sound doesn't just come from your mouth. It radiates from your entire field. It vibrates in your chest, resonates through your skin, travels through your energy field, and creates a wave that echoes in the space around you. It's like the still water of a lake. If you throw a stone into a turbulent lake, the waves expand chaotically, broken, and irregular. But if you throw the same stone into a calm and silent lake, the waves expand in perfect, harmonious circles, reaching much greater distances. The vibration of sacred sound works the same way. If your inner world is calm, the frequency reaches the deepest layers of your being. But if your mind is restless, it barely penetrates the surface. This is why the ancient masters spent so much time in silence before making a sound. It wasn't for spiritual show. It was because they knew that silence is the most powerful vibrational preparation there is. There, you release control, silence the ego, and allow the frequency to act on its own. You don't try to manipulate the vibration. You become its channel. And the practice is simple yet profound. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and for a few moments simply listen. Feel the pause between one thought and the next. Feel the space between one breath and the next. You don't have to force anything. Silence happens naturally when you stop searching and simply allow it to come. And in that state, something inside you begins to align. As if every part of your field begins to remember its true frequency, the one hidden behind the mental noise. And now that you've passed through that door, now that your inner silence has prepared the ground, the moment many have been waiting for has arrived. For it is precisely in this state that you are ready to emit the sacred frequency for the first time. And what happens when that sound echoes for the first time in your vibrational field is something that not even words can fully explain. But not in a forced way, nor as a mechanical technique. This sound does not come from the mind trying to reach the perfect note. It arises naturally from your center, from that silent space that pulsates in the middle of your chest. The space that most people never consciously access. It is from this point that Thoth revealed the most powerful sound of all. A frequency that is not a beautiful sound nor a mantra for automatic repetition. It is a primal sound. Pure. And its name is R.T.O. R.A. Not as a word, but as a vibration. When you chant R.A., you don't just emit a sound. You release the solar frequency, the vibration of pure consciousness, which flows through your energy field like a wave of light. It's as if every cell remembers that it was meant to vibrate in harmony. Not on the surface, but deep down. Imagine that all the tension, fear, and vibrational blocks accumulated in life suddenly begin to reorganize. Not because you're forcing a change, but because this vibration does what it has always done, restores the original order. Thoth said that the vibration of Ratoit is the sound that reconnects your field to the creative source. The one that brings life, expansion, and clarity. It is the frequency of conscious awakening. And the most extraordinary thing is that you don't have to repeat it 1,000 times like an endless exercise. Thoth was clear. Just once, if done with total presence, is enough to rewrite the foundations of your vibration. Because what creates transformation is not the number of times you repeat it, but the depth of awareness with which you attune. The true frequency doesn't need to be repeated, because it already contains within itself the order your field seeks. And what happens when you sing RA with that awareness? First, you feel it in your body, not as something light or fleeting. It's as if every cell answers the call, as if something deep, long forgotten, awakens and says, "Finally, you're back." Then you feel it in your energy field. It expands like a silent wave that passes through everything that was blocked. Your breathing changes. Your mind calms. Your body relaxes. And suddenly the world around you seems lighter, clearer, more real. And it doesn't end there. The universe responds. Because when you emit that frequency, your energetic signature changes. It's as if you change the station of your life, and everything around you begins to vibrate at the same level. Situations, people, opportunities. This doesn't mean life becomes magical overnight. It means you're no longer trapped in the unconscious cycle that kept you spinning in the same spot. Now you vibrate consciously. And the universe responds to your conscious vibration, not to your hidden fear. But here's what no one tells you. Tuning this frequency changes everything. But it's not enough to simply tune it once and return to your routine without awareness, because the outside world is still noisy, distracting, and full of interference. And if you don't know how to sustain that vibration amidst the chaos of everyday life, it will begin to fade. Not because the frequency disappears, but because you stop nourishing it. How to keep your vibration high. Simple and powerful daily practices. Maintaining this vibration doesn't happen by magic. It's a daily choice. Even in difficult moments, where everything around you is trying to bring you back to your old vibration. Because the world remains the same, but now you vibrate differently. And that difference must be nurtured every day in a simple, practical, yet deeply conscious way. This is where the practices that the ancient masters never abandoned come into play. They knew that a high vibrational state isn't an emotional peak that lasts a few minutes. It's an energetic field that builds in the silence of your daily actions. The first practice is conscious breathing, not the rushed breathing of everyday life. It's stopping, closing your eyes, and taking a deep breath, feeling the air fill your body, then exhaling and releasing everything that weighs you down. Breathing consciously instantly reorganizes your nervous system and aligns your vibration. It's simple, but very few do it with full presence. Then comes contact with nature. You don't have to live in the wilderness to feel it. Just put your feet on the ground. Feel the wind on your skin. Hear the birds singing instead of the noise of traffic. Nature has a pure, constant vibration that effortlessly rebalances your energy field. It's as if, by connecting to the vibration of the earth, your field remembers who it truly is. Here's another key element: words of power. They're not memorized phrases, but affirmations that you truly feel when you say them. Words like, I am light, I am presence, my energy is free. When spoken truthfully, they strengthen the vibrational field you've activated. Each word vibrates in your field as a reminder, you already are what you seek. And finally, vibrational visualization. Close your eyes and imagine lights rotating around your body. Golden, white, or blue lights purifying and protecting your field. This isn't childish imagination. Quantum physics has already shown that the brain doesn't distinguish physical reality from reality visualized with true emotion. When you visualize with intention, your field responds. These practices aren't complex or unattainable. They're tools you can use amid the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Whenever you feel your vibration begin to fluctuate, they purify your energy field and help maintain a high frequency, even when external chaos tries to knock you down. But there's something deeper that few people know. Because even when applying these practices, there can be an invisible noise that drains your energy without you even realizing it. And that's precisely why the great masters spent so much time in silence. Not because they had nothing to say. It was because they discovered that silence has its own vibration. A frequency so high that it recharges your energy effortlessly. In true silence, there is no searching. There is no anxiety. It is the space where thoughts stop and your vibration returns to its original state without you having to do anything. The Tibetans knew this. The desert masters lived it. In silence, where there are no words or thoughts, your energy recharges itself, like a spring gushing from the void. But this silence is not the absence of external noise. It is inner silence. The silence where the mind doesn't scream, emotions don't drag you down, where you simply are. And here's the practice most people forget. Because in today's world, where everything pulls you out, stopping and being silent seems like a luxury. But it's a necessity. Because in that empty space, your vibration finds rest and restoration. And the best part? It doesn't have to last hours, just a few minutes a day. No phone, no distractions, no external stimuli. Just you, your breath, and the silence that vibrates within your field. And when you emerge from that state, something has changed. You are no longer the same. Your vibration has been restored. Your field has been cleared. And your perception has become more acute. Even so, there is still a subtle detail that can elevate or destroy your vibration. And that detail is your living environment. An environment that, without you realizing it, can drain or amplify everything you've just built. The final practice. How to seal your high vibration and never return. It's no use being silent, tuning in, and breathing correctly if your living environment continues to drain your energy. Your vibrational field is open. And no matter how much you strengthen your inner world, it constantly interacts with its surroundings. And this interaction happens without you even realizing it. Chaotic places, negative people, constant noise. They all affect your field like invisible waves that gradually destabilize your frequency. At first, you don't even feel it. But over time, that lightness you've achieved begins to fade. Now, think with me. Have you ever felt a strange heaviness when entering a messy, dark, tense place? Or noticed how much lighter you feel in a clean, orderly space, where the air seems easier to breathe? It's not a coincidence. It's environmental vibration. Your field seeks balance with its surroundings. And if the environment vibrates low, your field begins to lower as well. That's why creating a vibrational sanctuary isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. And I'm not talking about building a physical temple. I'm talking about adapting your space to support your new vibration. Start with cleanliness. A clean, airy, and orderly environment naturally raises your frequency. Then add harmonious sounds, soft instrumental music, nature sounds, mantras at the right frequency. Sound organizes the energy of a space just as it organizes your internal field. Now let's go further. Natural scents like lavender, rosemary, or sandalwood. The sense of smell connects directly to the nervous system, altering your emotional vibration without you even thinking about it. And if you want to go even deeper, use crystals. Clear quartz, amethyst, black tourmaline. Each vibrates at a specific frequency and helps keep the energy of space clean and protected. Physics has already shown that every environment has its own vibrational field, and you automatically synchronize with that field. That's why, when your environment vibrates high, it supports your elevated frequency, even when the day seems tough, even when challenges arise. But up to this point, all we've done is prepare the groundwork. This is the moment that truly matters, the place where elevation must become integration, and where the shimmering vibration you have awakened is called to descend fully into your bones. For it is not enough to rise, you must root. You must forge this resonance into your essence, so that it no longer trembles under the weight of external storms. That is why now, at this threshold, we invoke not a new method, not another esoteric technique, but the oldest and most luminous discipline of all, radical presence. This is not merely mindfulness. It is the sacred act of being fully here. To breathe with reverence even as the world shakes. To remain whole in the midst of noise. To feel your feet on the earth and your spirit unshaken. It is the gesture of claiming the now as divine, the refusal to abandon yourself when challenge calls. Radical presence is the key that locks the past behind you and melts the illusions of what is to come. It is the fire that burns gently at the center, never loud, always certain. In this stillness, you become the eye of the storm, not untouched by life, but no longer ruled by it. When you breathe intentionally amid the shifting winds, when you hold your frequency with quiet resolve, something extraordinary occurs. Your vibration crystallizes. It is no longer a fleeting spark, it becomes your foundation. And in that moment, the entire cosmos turns to answer you, not because you demanded it, but because you finally matched its rhythm. This is the alchemy of the ancients. To not chase enlightenment, but to wear it as a second skin. To carry it not in temples, but in kitchens, streets, and silence. This is the real transmutation, the ordinary made sacred. If these words echoed in your chest, then do not let the moment slip by. Mark it. Click like, not out of habit, but as a symbol of your resonance, a flag planted in the invisible. Then, offer a word that has never existed, one that reflects what this experience sparked in you. Place it in the comments like a crystal at the altar. Let it stand as part of our collective transmission. And if you feel this current speaks your unspoken truth, subscribe, not as a follower, but as a co-guardian of this space. Your presence, your engagement, your choice to return again and again is what gives this work its power. You are not just an observer. You are the field itself. Let your breath carry intention. Let your presence become a prayer. And let each rising sun find you closer to the sovereign version of yourself. You are light. Speak it, live it, and until we meet again, stay luminous.